Hi, and welcome to this week's episode of Let's Talk Sports Podcast with me, Lichia. The Buffalo Bills and Bills Mafia are enjoying the fact that New England is not in the playoffs. They beat the Indianapolis Colts, and Josh Allen is definitely should be the MVP of the season. To take the Bills from where they were to where they are now, I think that he should be the MVP over Aaron Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes. Just my thoughts. The Bills Mafia did incredibly well along the weekend, and their fans are so happy because for the first time in 17 years they have a playoff victory. And something about the AFC, all the quarterbacks are under the age of 26. That's incredible. They were all drafted within 2 years of each other. Patrick Mahomes in 2017, the other three in 2018. It's incredible. The young quarterback is in the AFC. Talking about an AFC team that beat out another AFC team, the Browns smash the Steelers. Holy bleep was that game incredible to watch. I felt like for the years and years and years that the Browns got smacked in the face by the football gods, it was finally all for something good. I don't get sentimental about many things in terms of sports if it's not my team, but I actually really love the Cleveland Browns because of the fact that they are the underdogs. They have been slapped in the face so many times. The Browns won this game, and it's the first time since before Baker Mayfield was born since they've won a playoff game. This is incredible. And also what is funny is the fact that they trolled Juju afterwards with Corvette and same old Browns. And I felt like they took and I took a personally meme from Michael Jordan and turned it into like actual ammunition for the game. Now let's talk about the NFL on Nickelodeon. I loved the idea. I thought that it was excellently presented and it wasn't too gimmicky, but yet it did have some of the gimmicks in it. So instead of the end zone, it was a slime zone. And how they did real football moments was they had characters pop up like young Sheldon and explain the rules to the little children. Because the NFL has had a youth outreach sort of issue lately. I don't know whether it's because of how it's presented or why it's not like this or why it's maybe the stars aren't as good, but I genuinely think that the NFL have struck gold with doing a game on Nickelodeon. I think baseball should have a go next at doing it because it was incredible just to watch it. Now, fun fact, Tom Brady is still Tom Brady. I think people are so enamored by the fact that Tom Brady is still good at 43. I think we've got this whole he is so good that we want to forget about him sort of phase of our life. And we can say that about a lot of things, and including the next topic that I'll talk about after this. But Tom Brady is still Tom Brady. And I don't see why we need to say that somebody else is better than him, because he's the GOAT. He threw 43 touchdowns in this previously. He is 43 years old. Every single time a ball is thrown from him, he is rewriting history. I genuinely believe that Tom Brady might win the Super Bowl this year. I just think that he has got one more Super Bowl left in him, and I think it's this year. I just don't see people beating him. I'm beating the Bucks. Like, I just don't. And in talking about something that is sort of controversial in a way, is Alabama ruining college football? I don't think so. It's like back in the day when the discussions were, are the Warriors ruining basketball? Are the 2000 Lakers ruining basketball? Are the Chicago Bulls ruining basketball? It's not. It's a dynasty. And if you can't beat Alabama, well, then you don't deserve to be the college football champion. Congratulations, Alabama. Congratulations to Devontae Smith, who had 3 touchdowns in the first half. He's incredible. I am praying beyond belief that he falls to number 11 so the Giants can pick him up. Don't really think that's going to happen. But yeah. That was an enjoyable game to watch, apart from the fact that I fell asleep in the 4th. But let's not talk about that, because it was such a blowout win that I actually fell asleep for about 2 minutes of it. Let's talk about Houston and Houston sports. I'm going to start with the Deshaun Watson of it all. He wants out of the Houston Texans. He hasn't publicly said it, but he's been giving murmurings to people. At the moment, they think that Miami is the front runner. I'll discuss more of that next week if he actually brings out a trade request and see where that whole thing just broke down. So yeah, I'm all for Deshaun Watson getting out of Houston. Love him on the Giants, but I don't know how that's going to figure out. Now let's talk about the other team in Houston. And no, I'm not talking about those cheaters in the Houston Astros. I'm talking about the Houston Rockets. James Harden watch is officially over. He's now officially a Brooklyn Net. So, in this 4-team deal, the Nets have acquired James Harden. They have given up the 2022, 2024, and 2026 first-round picks and 1 first-round pick from Milwaukee in 2022, as well as 4 pick swaps in 2021, 2023, 2025, and 2027. Now, a pick swap is when, say the Rockets have number 9, and the Nets have number 6. The Rockets can say, I want number 6, and then the Rockets get number 9. So yes. They also get Karis LeVert, Deontay Ekstrom, and Rudos Krukos. I think that's how you pronounce it. Now, in that deal, the Brooklyn Nets gave to the Rockets Karis LeVert, who was then flipped for Victor Oladipo. So the Rockets have now got Victor Oladipo, and the Pacers have also got a 2nd-round pick. Now, the Cavaliers acquired in that deal Jared Allen and Taunton Prince. I think I pronounced those names right. I'm sorry if I get them wrong. I'm dyslexic, so I can't actually pronounce names right. But holy crap. It was like last night he said, I want out, I don't want to be here anymore. The next day he's gone. Oh my god. And I think that Kyrie was actually really smart by making it look like he wanted to not be in there. He was forcing the Nets to make the trade for James Harden. Holy crap. I'm in shock and awe over this. Like, actually shock and awe. I didn't think that it was going to come. I still don't have thoughts. Like, this trade was the biggest trade, I think, in history of trades. And in talking about the NBA, we've got to talk about the new NBA COVID protocols. So, they're no longer allowed to talk to each other after the game. They have to give socially distanced fist bumps. They're no longer allowed to have people over at their house, have people over at the hotel, a whole bunch of stuff. Because the COVID, they were getting a whole lot more of COVID cases within the NBA. My question is, why hasn't Adam Silver called up Roger Goodell and said, hey, what did you do for 17, 18 weeks for it to be COVID safe and get it all ready to go? I mean, come on, the Browns won their game with their coach sitting at home with COVID. So I'm just confused. I'm really confused about why the NBA can't get this right without a bubble. I'm still very confused about it. Anyway, talking about games, we are going to talk about the Lakers versus the Warriors, as that is the game of the week. The Warriors are getting better. I still think the Lakers are the best team in the NBA, even with the Brooklyn Nets acquiring James Harden. I still think the Lakers are the best team. I think that this game is going to be possibly a first rounder in the playoffs, or even a second rounder. So it'll be good to see how different the Warriors are from when we played them last to now. I'm so glad we're done with the Spurs, actually, because that's usually a trap game for us at the end of the year. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the Lakers and Warriors. So, now I've come to the divisional round of the playoffs, the NFL playoffs. We have 3 more playoff weeks to go. We've got the divisional round, then we've got the conference finals, and then we've got the Super Bowl. I'm actually quite excited. So we've got the Packers versus the Rams. I'm going with the Packers, even though I think that the Rams might have a chance. So I'm hesitantly going for the Packers. I just don't think that Aaron Rodgers is going to not make it to the NFC Championship game and have us all go wait for the matchup that we've all been waiting for a long time. So yeah, I think that the Packers are going to win that game. We've got the Bills versus the Ravens. Now this is a tough one. I'm actually going to go with the Ravens. I think that Lamar Jackson getting his first ever playoff victory and sort of wiping that monkey off his back, he's just going to keep on running. Although I think the Bills are an incredible team. So yeah, I'm going with the Ravens, begrudgingly. Chiefs versus the Browns. I think the Chiefs are going to win. I think the Chiefs are going to the Super Bowl. There's no need to discuss anything further there. The Browns are going to put up a fight, but it's going to be the Chiefs. Then we've got the History Channel game, the 2 old quarterbacks, a game that we have wanted to see for a while, which is Drew Brees versus Tom Brady, the Saints versus the Bucks. I don't see the Bucks losing 3-0 to the Saints. I just don't see it. I think that the Bucks are going to win this game, and we're going to get the playoff. We're going to get the playoff that we really wanted, playoff game that we all have always wanted, which is Aaron Rodgers versus Tom Brady, and then that can finally settle the GOAT debate. I think it's still Tom Brady. Anyway, that is all for this week's episode of Let's Talk Sports podcast with me, Lucia. So I'll catch you all next week. Bye.